Getting to be a crowd for the race for mayor in the city of Minneapolis. Incumbent Mayor Jacob Frey is trying for his third term, but he's got challengers. State Senator Omar Fateh, Dwayne Davis, Jazz Hampton, and Brenda Short so far. This is Breaking the News. I'm Janice Shortle. So Omar Fateh is where we're going to focus because he won the endorsement from the Minneapolis DFL, making national headlines as a Democratic socialist. Governor Walz, though, has vocally endorsed Mayor Frey. So who is Omar Fateh? Here's Danny with Fateh himself.
After 5 sessions at the Capitol, State Senator Omar Fateh is running to be the next mayor of Minneapolis.
I love everything about the city, the people.
Fateh has emerged as Mayor Jacob Frey's top challenger after winning the Minneapolis DFL endorsement. Frey is appealing that endorsement to the state party, citing flaws in the electronic voting system.
I 100% trust the process. We have a team in the party that worked really hard.
Fateh's endorsement this summer drew national attention. Like Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani in New York City, Fateh describes himself as a Democratic socialist.
For me, that means addressing everyone's basic needs and making sure that no one gets left behind.
If elected, Fateh says priorities would include standing up to the Trump administration, pushing for rent stabilization, and a $20 minimum wage by 2028. On policing, though, Fateh breaks from the Democratic Socialists of America.
When it comes to public safety, do you agree with the national platform on police abolition?
That's not going to happen, absolutely. And so what we envision is a public safety system that works for everyone.
The Frey campaign has called attention to Fateh's support of the failed charter amendment 4 years ago that would have replaced MPD with the Department of Public Safety. But Fateh says he would invest further in behavioral crisis and mental health workers, something Frey has done while in office.
So you wouldn't support cutting funding for the department?
Actually, I would think that in this situation, we'd actually have to increase public safety funding to make sure that we have all the alternatives.
This was also our first chance to ask Fateh about feeding our future, and video entered as an exhibit in the trial showing Fateh at a June 2021 event celebrating a ruling that prevented the state from stopping payments due to suspected fraud. Fateh praised 2 key players later charged in the scandal, Ikram Muhammad and Executive Director Amy Bach.
And I want to thank also Amy.
Months later, the FBI carried out their raids.
You were on video thanking Amy Bach, Ikram Muhammad. What do you say to Minneapolis voters about those connections, given what ultimately happened to those folks?
That was a situation which was really heartbreaking. Folks that we believed were serving honorably the community.
Fateh returned campaign funds given by several donors connected to the scandal.
Anytime folks abuse the system fraudulently, especially when it comes to children, we need to stand against that.
As a state senator, why weren't you more skeptical about the growth of that program and the fraud that was potentially happening?
I don't think at that time we knew that they were under investigation.
Looking ahead to November, Fateh says his mayoral campaign will highlight working class issues.
And folks just want their leaders to stand up for the everyday person.
Now, Mayor Frey's challenge to Fateh's Minneapolis DFL endorsement will be settled by the state DFL party, so the Minnesota DFL. A hearing will be held on that matter August 17th. Janet.
Danny, just curious, at this point, why even challenge the endorsement? Mayor Frey has money. He is the incumbent. What's the point of it?
You know, it's important in terms of access to voter information, party support, and actually Mayor Frey in his appeal has asked for that same type of support that an endorsed candidate would get as that process is playing out. So significant, certainly isn't something that necessarily determines the race, but is significant.
All right, Danny, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Be right back.